guys. I am super excited to do this with you all tonight. And if you're watching the recording, hi to recording. So this is for the month of June. It can apply to any month, but this specifically is for this month. How to set your month up for success and know what to focus on at what times of the month and just all of the things basically. So a month at a glance. So this is just what I personally do and have found works best for me. You can take it, run with it, edit it, alter it however you want. But where you ended last month. So for those that have been in longer than a month, this is going to apply to you. And even if you haven't been in for a month, this is going to be good to know what to expect to the end of this month going into July. So for those that have been in longer than a month, make sure, like I said, to get your chart out from last month. And for those that haven't been in, go ahead and print out your Ruby chart for this month and fill it in as you go through the month so you know what to go off of for next month. So for me, I have my chart and everything printed out. If I get it right side up, I have my chart printed out. I know who's in what boxes and then what boxes I still have left to fill in. And then you update volume and everything and know what you're lacking. So you see the final numbers of the month, because everything, if you don't know, it resets the beginning of the month. So everything's going to be zero the first of the month until all auto shipments run by the 25th. And then you'll see real numbers and know what you lack from your promotion as far as volume goes. But that's why it's important to have your chart from last month so you can kind of judge, well, I'm signing these customers. For those that don't know, you sign a customer and you can actually move them under someone to help with volume and their promotion as well as your promotion. You still get paid the same and everything. So it's not like you're losing money by moving them, but it's going to, in the long run, help them out and help you out with your promotion. So that's very important to know where volume you're lacking. That way you know where to move it, because everything resets at the beginning of the month. You don't know who needs volume until auto ships run, and you only have 72 hours after that person is signed up that you can move them. So that's why it's important to go ahead and have your chart and know what you're working towards, but then also breaking it down each week at a time. Oh, I need XYZ amount of customers or distributors this for each week. I need so much volume in this week. So break it down. If you're trying to go Ruby, you have to have a group volume of 2,000. So break that down into like 4 weeks. That's 500 in volume each week that you and your team need to bring in. So that breaks it down. 500 is so many customer orders, depending on what they order. Kind of break it down on what you're consistently signing people up as far as customers go. What is it that you're selling the most of, and kind of break it down into that. So I need so many Thermofite X orders. I need so many gummy orders. I need so many this orders or whatever, and break it down so you know a tangible amount that you need to be working towards each week. So not just a huge amount that you need for the month, because that can be overwhelming and you don't create that sense of urgency in your mind. You're like, oh, well, I need 2,000 in volume by the end of the month. I'll get to it. I'll make sure it happens. And then end of the month comes and you still lack 2,000 because you didn't set yourself up for success and plan accordingly. So make sure you guys are muted. But that's how I break it down on knowing what I need to bring in each week and how many distributors I need. So say you don't have any distributors and you need to bring in 3 distributors. That's a distributor a week. Or what I like to do is I focus on certain things at certain times of the month. So the very first week of the month, I'm focusing on selling samples. So I earn sample cash and everything. And then by the end of the month, I can turn those people into customers or even distributors. So my focus on the first week of the month is selling all of these samples, sending out messages, asking people if they'd like a sample pack. My posts are going to be tailored specifically to samples. I'm posting about samples, things like that. Unless there is a promotion like for distributors and stuff in play, then I'm going to shift my focus and everything. But for the most part, this first week, I'm focusing on selling samples and earning cash. And then I'm writing down the way that you stay organized, or that I would suggest staying organized, is writing down the people, their name, what they ordered, their address, and everything, so you can follow up with them and be like, hey, just wanted to check in and see if you got that sample. And then you know who to follow up with come towards the end of the month when you're pushing for volume and everything. And you're thinking, well, who can I follow up with? These people who bought samples, they want to order more. So that's why I do samples at the beginning, so it has time to get to them. They have time to actually try it. And then usually we have like promotion or things like that at the end of the month, and you can push hard for that volume. So first week is for samples. The second week is like first to second week is distributors for me, focus wise. I'm focusing on where my chart needs distributors. So who do I need to help promote, and how many distributors do they need? And so that's going to be my focus. Like for the second week, my posts are going to be lifestyle posts. So posting about what this business has done for me, what it's done for other people, how we're able to do this, and how to earn an extra income, the bonus eligibilities that they are eligible for now. If you go Ruby within your first month, like your first calendar month, you get a $300 bonus. 2 months, 2 calendar months, you get $5,000 bonus for Emerald, and then 3 months diamond bonus of $10,000. Double in 4 months, you get a $20,000 bonus. So things like that, that's going to be my focal point, is focusing on those, and then signing those distributors, and then training them how to earn their shopping spree. And the last 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of the month, depending on if it's got 4 or 5 weeks in the month, the last 2 weeks are going to be focused on customers. So following up with those people who bought samples from me. My posts are going to be tailored specifically to products, showing myself using the products. Of course, I do that every day, but it's more intentionally focusing my posts on those. And my messages, when I'm reaching out to people, I'm going to be reaching out to them about products. And then just making sure I'm counting down the volume as we go on how much I lack, how much everyone else lacks, and everything like that. So just being very specific and very focused on certain things in the month is what works for me. Like I said, you can take this and play around with it, see what works for you, because what works for me may not work for you. But this is just what I am sharing with you guys that works for me, and you can kind of play around with it and see what it does for you. I talked about breaking down volume and everything. And if that works better for you, if you're like, okay, well, I just need to break it down week by week on how much volume I need to bring in, so it's not as overwhelming at the end of the month, if that what works for you, then you do that. And then I talked about focusing on samples. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about, especially for new people and even old people who have been in for longer than a month, not that they're older people, but they've been in for a little bit, but host to post. If you're not doing host to post, you need to get on the bandwagon, because it literally will change your business completely, you guys. I love host to post, and I kind of had gotten out of the what's the word I'm looking for? Out of the rhythm of doing it consistently. And I was like, oh, well, host to post isn't working, just because I wasn't doing it consistently. I was doing consistently other things that were working, but host to post, I wasn't getting my 10 up a day. So I was like, oh, well, host to post is like not working right now, because that's what I kept telling myself. And that is far from the truth. You have to be consistent with host to post before it starts working. So being consistent, meaning getting your 10 host to posts up a day, having 10 people actually post for you, not just talking to 10 people, but 10 people actually posting for you consistently. So not just one day or 2 days, like consistently every single day. Then it's going to start working, and it's just going to be like a flood of customers are going to be coming to you. But that is what is working. I mean, yes, reaching out to people is working. Where you focus is what's going to work. But host to post is the easiest, quickest way to expand your network, enroll customers, and enroll distributors. Because if you're getting your host to posts up, like doing the ratio, like out of every 10 host to posts, 6 of them should be customers and 4 of them should be giveaway posts. So like 6 people put up the product post, and then 4 people put up a giveaway post for you. And those 4 people who put up a giveaway post for you, you're going to have those people and do the same ratio, you know, like 6 product and 4 giveaway. So it's always an ongoing thing because you're always expanding your network, because those 4 people who put up giveaway posts, you're expanding into their network. And then you're going to reach their people, and then they're going to do giveaway posts for you. And it's just never ending. So if you are saying, oh, well, I don't have anybody to put up a hosted post, one, you need to message people to put up, and then you're going to do all giveaway posts. So you need to expand your network. If you're not doing, or if you say that you don't have people to put up hosted posts for you, that's a telltale sign that you need to expand your network, and you need to consistently be doing hosted posts daily. So, but those people who put up a hosted post for you, you need to message them a couple of days later and ask them if they want info on how to earn an extra income. All of these scripts are in Boards. So if you don't know, this is where they're going to be, because it's going to be life-changing for you guys. And Boards is amazing. You're going to go to host a post, and then you're going to go to a few days or weeks after they put up the post, and it says, thanks so much for putting up the post. You should do this business with me. Would you be interested in earning extra? Like that's in there for you guys, already pre-typed. You're just going to send that to each person that's put up a hosted post for you. And then you're starting to plant that seed. Maybe they don't join now, but you've at least asked and done your job of asking them, and it's planting that seed. So maybe they aren't in the position where they want to do that now, but maybe they get pregnant and want to stay home with their kids, or maybe they end up being at a job they don't like and they want to earn an extra income. Maybe they end up buying a car and having an extra payment, and they need $200 to $500 a month to be able to afford that new car. You never know, because everyone's life changes dramatically, or something happens, usually anywhere from every 6 to 12 months. So you just never know, and you're going to be planting that seed and watering it, and you're going to be the person they think of when they need that extra income, because you asked them, you did your job and asked them. So that's why I love hosted posts, because you're able to do so many different things with just hosted post. You're expanding your network, you're getting potential customers, you're getting potential distributors, you're selling samples. If you don't know, you send that message after saying thanks so much, and asking them to buy a Skinny Coffee sample for $20. So you're selling samples and making cash too. So you're doing all of the things with one action, working smarter, not harder. So I will teach and preach host to post forever, because it's amazing and it works when you work it consistently. That is very important. So a few tips I want to go ahead and share really quick for host to post. I know this is not a host to post training, but something that I've been implementing that is working really well, because I found out when I was doing a few different things with host to post, it was killing the visibility of the host to post. So a tip that I have is, when you are doing host to post, usually I would have you all save it to a collection and turn on post notifications as soon as that person posted, so you don't forget. Well, Facebook is flagging that. And if you have people consistently putting up the same posts for you and you're saving them consistently, then that's going to decrease visibility for whatever reason. I don't know all the logistics of it, but that's just what happens. So what I have been doing, and I suggest you all doing, is getting a notebook and doing this at certain parts of the day. So you're not always messaging people, putting up hosted posts for you throughout the day. You're doing it a few times a day. And when you're sending out those messages for hosted posts, or responding to messages about hosted posts, when they say yes, they will put up a post for you, their name goes down in a list. Okay. And then when they say they have posted it, their name gets a check mark beside of it. And then you leave it for at least 6 to 8 hours and don't do anything with it. Don't respond. Don't do anything. Leave it. Do them in the morning and get back to them at night, or do them in the night and get back to them in the morning. Let it sleep. That way it has time for people to see it without you interacting and Facebook linking it to you. And then you, after 6 to 8 hours, you'll save it, turn on post notifications, all that stuff. And their name gets it has a check mark, but that's how you're going to find out. You go back to your list, and whoever has a check mark, you search them and look at their profile and go that way. So that's my way that I've been doing it recently, and it's worked really well. And then they get highlighted when I add them to the spreadsheet that I've entered them in. So I can go back and see who hasn't posted, because these people that are not highlighted, they haven't posted for me. So I'm going to go back on Sunday and ask them if they posted. And then they may say, oh yeah, I totally forgot. So I'll go make sure I find it and stuff. And then I'll highlight or check mark them and highlight them, all the things. So that's a tip that I have for host to post and staying organized with it. And then you can go back and check the posts, all of those things. I mean, if you go have it in your collection, you can just look at it there, but that's just an easy way to do it too. What else did I have? Oh, also with your charts, especially if you've been in for longer than a month, you need to be looking at your charts daily. Like you absolutely need to be updating them daily so you know where volume's coming in, because sometimes people place one-time orders, like they'll log in their account and it's called an API order. And you'll see volume is there that you didn't plan on or account on, or maybe someone's order declined and you don't realize that. And so you're lacking volume. So that's why it's important to always have, like, I keep everything literally in my planner, which is this little binder, and I carry it with me wherever I go. Like, it's got my charts, it's got my samples, it's got my hosted posts, it's got my to-do list, like all of the things in one spot. This is what works for me. You just have to play around and find what works for you. But I recommend like tangible things. I know a lot of people like digital. It's different if you write it down on pen and paper. I'm definitely old school when it comes to that. I retain the information better, but you need to have some kind of an organization system. You don't have to be completely organized, because I'm not by any means, but you have a system that works for you. So updating your charts daily. And for those that are new, this is a tip. Go ahead and print out your Ruby chart, write it down, draw it on a piece of paper if you don't have a printer. It's 3 little boxes. And then each of those boxes have to be at 500 in group volume, and you have to be at a group volume of 2,000. So each of those person plus your volume is your group volume, and it has to be at 2,000. So just updating your charts daily. There is a training in boards under, let me see if I can find it really quick. Under new distributor launchpad, it's at the very top, and it talks about charting. There's a video, there's charts there. Make sure you take a look at it if you haven't already, to learn more about charting, because this is not a charting video or training. And then I said charts daily, also very, 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 very important, because a lot of people, including myself, get sidetracked with this. Tracking your work daily, not just like writing it down, but actually tracking it. So what I mean by this is writing down your hosted posts, for one, because we talk to so many people, and like I said, I am guilty of this. I feel like I talk to so many people a day, and I've got like 50 hosted posts up. When I go and look back, I've got 10 people actually posted for me. So it's easier to think you've accomplished more in your mind than you actually have. So make sure you're tracking your results. So for me, I have a checklist of things I need to get done daily, and they don't get checked off unless I actually do them. Meaning I expand my network by how many people, like a specific number, or for an allotted amount of time, like 15 minutes, I'm expanding my network. So things like that. So making sure you're actually tracking what you're doing, because it's very, very easy to get on Facebook, get on Instagram, and think you're doing income producing activities, but you're not really. Like, you're just on social media scrolling, and there is no BV in scrolling. So that means there's no customers in just scrolling social media, which I said, it's very, very, very easy to do. Also, look at your messenger. How many people have you reached out to today? If you haven't reached out to like several people, new people, had these conversations, meaning if you're not talking to like 10 to 15 people, you need to do more. And I'm going to be like real and honest with you guys. I love each and every one of you, and I have like a special place in my heart for you guys. But if you want to be successful, you have to put in the work. It's not going to be given to you, but that means you have to do more. Regardless of what you're doing, everybody can do more. I can do more. You can do more. And it's just being very intentional with the time that you have in doing that. I don't watch TV, you guys. Like, I do not watch TV. I used to watch TV all the time before this business. Now I don't watch TV. because I'm doing my work. I'm doing my personal development. I'm reading my books. I'm doing other things, and I don't have time for TV. So it's all about a balance of what you want to give up for what you want to have. So you can't, there has to be give and take. You can't just take. You can't just have all of the things. You have to have some kind of a sacrifice to be able to get the reward. You have to put in the work to be able to get the reward. So just keep that in mind when, I mean, I'm not saying TV is bad, like it's not bad, but just keep in mind, if you're wanting $500, there's going to be something else you got to have to give up to get that $500. If you want $2,000, you got to give up some other stuff. Like that may be saying no to a girls' night to be able to work your business instead. That may be saying no to a movie night so you can spend that time intentionally working your business if you have a busy schedule. So just keep that in mind. But plan or tracking your work each day. So writing down your potentials. So for me, I write down what I have to do. So this is just what works for me. So I wanted to show you guys because I'm a visual person. I like to see how things are working with other people. So I like to write down what I'm doing. This is Thursdays. So I did this Wednesday. I wrote this down for today. What I needed to get done today, and everything that got done has a check mark. And then I write down my potentials that I have, that I follow up with for today. The ones started for tomorrow. So that's just what I have for my potentials, is writing it down in my planner. So I know, like, say someone's like, oh, well, I get paid Friday. Can you save that spot for me for Friday? So I know to write them down on Friday to follow up with them and be like, hey, I have your spot saved, whatever. So that's just what, like I said, works for me. So if that's something you want to try, I definitely recommend it. Also, something that is very important is planning your day the night before. So think about waking up and then having to decide what you're doing that day. So it's very hard because you're more than likely, at least for me, I have things I already need to be doing as soon as I wake up. So it's not like I have time to just sit and think and plan out my day. I have to do it the night before or nothing gets done. So taking the time to plan out your day, knowing what you're focusing on the next day. So as soon as you wake up, you know what you're focusing on, not trying to figure out what you need to focus on. So being proactive instead of reactive, proactive on what you need to do instead of reacting of what's happening to you. So if you have a checklist the night before, you know what you need to accomplish that day, so you can just check it off as you go. Are there any questions? I'm going to take a little bit of a breather in a second. If you all have any questions, you're more than welcome to unmute or type them in the chat. If you can't unmute, I'm going to pause just for a second and let you all have the floor before I finish out. If there's anything you all have questions on. No, maybe. No, okay, that's fine. If you do, type it in the chat and I'll answer it. I'm almost done, you guys. You all have been amazing for 30 minutes. But so I want to kind of level with you guys. I know I've kind of been real for the whole time, but leveling with you. If you want my help, because I have all of this at your disposal, not that I'm like some high and mighty person, but I have been in for almost 6 years. I know a thing or two about this business, but if you want long-term help and guidance and my time, like one-on-one trainings, verbiage, help with everything, I just ask you at least set up an ADBV auto shipment, because that shows me you're serious about this business. You're going to take it serious. And if you want my time, like my time is valuable. I have a lot of things I need to be doing working my business, and I am more than willing to help you, but you have to put in some money too, or put in some of your skin too, to be successful with this business. So I just ask you set up your ADBV auto shipment to process before the 25th of the month. That way you're a product of the product. I know that you are serious with this business and that you're going to be successful long-term, because like I mentioned in our training the other night, long-term success, you have to be passionate about this. You have to be passionate about the product. So you just have to have an ADBV auto shipment set up to get products for yourself. And I know that we talked about this in the other training about how to be able to pay for it. But if money is an option, you can't afford not to have this, because you're going to be excited about these products. You're going to share them with people and you're going to sell them. You can sell them as samples, making that cash that you paid for it right back plus more. So have your ADBV auto shipment set up like as soon as you can, because it's going to completely change your lives getting your hands on these products. But then also closing it out, just another analogy I want to share with you all. Say each of you may have kids. I don't know. Some of you guys may not. That's fine. Say your kid, your spouse, your mom, your dad, your significant other, whatever, say that they were kidnapped from you. What would you do to get them back? Would you just kind of like pray, oh, well, I hope that they come back. I wish they would come back. I'm just going to sit here and hope and pray they come back? Or would you do everything in your power, like doing all of the things you can do to get them back safely? What would you do? Would you do absolutely everything, exhaust all of the options to get them back? Of course you would. I mean, they're your kids, your husband, your wife, your mom, your dad, whatever. Like, you would do everything to get them back. So why don't you treat this business the same? Like, you need to have that why behind why you joined. If you're wanting to make more than a couple $100s, if you want to make a couple $100, you can do that with sample cash, or you could do like a few customer sales. That's fine. There's nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is totally fine. But if you want anything more, if you want more than $500 with this business, you have to have a why that is so strong that it gets you out of bed every single day. And you do absolutely everything in your power to make that happen. So all of the no's that you get, all of the excuses you get, all of the people who ignore you, sometimes they're going to be hateful and nasty people. That's just how the world is now. And it sucks because there is a lot of hateful and nasty people out there, and they need God's love. And you need to show them God's love with your responses and just be positive about it. But you would do everything in your power to get your family members back. So you need to do everything in your power to be successful in this. You can't just sit back and hope and wait and wish that you're going to be successful. You have to hit the ground running and put in the work to be successful. It's not just going to happen on its own, just like your family members aren't going to come back to you all safe and sound on their own. So just keep that in mind when you have rough days. I mean, we all have rough days, but that doesn't mean you take those rough days sitting down and you don't let them happen day after day after day, because every one of us have rough days. Every one of us have days we don't want to work. If you worked this business on the days you felt like working it, you would work maybe 2 or 3 days a year. I mean, I'm just being completely honest with you guys. There are a lot of days I don't necessarily want to put in the work. I don't want to sit down and send out the messages. I don't want to talk to these people, but my why drives me every day. My why is to be able to stay home with my daughter so I don't have to have someone else raise her. I don't have to miss out on those moments. Your why may be different, and more than likely it is. But if it's the same, you need to have that in your mind each and every day. Know what you're doing every day is getting you closer to that, or keeping that in your life. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I know that this was 30 minutes. I wanted to keep it kind of short and sweet, especially for replay. But if you all have any questions, definitely drop them in the chat. But I hope that this was helpful, setting your month up for success, knowing what you need to accomplish at the beginning of the month, and consistently looking at it throughout the month and marking it down as you go. And then kind of just knowing how to plan your day and everything. Next week, we are actually going to be doing a Zoom with a power hour, showing you how to do a power hour. So that means like working your business intentionally for an hour a day. I'm super excited about that. So make sure you all get ready for that. I'll post the details and ask times and stuff that works for you guys. But I'm going to close this out in prayer really quick. If y'all will pray with me. Dear God, thank you for each and every one of these lovely ladies and everyone that watches the recording of this. I am so thankful for each of them, that you brought them into not only my life, but each other's lives for a reason. I'm so thankful that they're in my life, that I get to work with each and every one of them, help them, show them exactly what to do to be successful, because I know this business is amazing. You've done incredible things through my life with this, and I can't wait for them to have success stories as well, being able to earn that extra income for whatever their reason is. But I hope that each of them gained some sort of knowledge or some tips from this, how to set their month up for success. And I pray that you're with each and every one of them throughout the rest of this month and even longer, that you remind them on those rough and tough days where they don't feel like working, that they are working for something bigger and better than just themselves. They're working for their family, they're working for their future, they're working for you to show other people your love and your mercy and your grace. Please be with every one of us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So thank you guys